Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the ComicCom podcast. I'm just trying to get this set up here, down here in the basement, trying to get Zach on screen, but it's tough trying to get him on the chat right now. I don't know why, but let me see. Hey, can you help me?
Oh, shit. Surprise. El Paso, Texas. In the house in Jersey.
What's going on, everybody? Look who joined for all the way, coming this weekend, all the way from El Paso, Texas.
Yeah, man.
First time I get to meet the man.
I know. First time in person. It's so weird.
We've been friends for like a year and a half now, and doing the podcast for about 5 months. And
yeah,
cheers, buddy. So we're here live and direct from my grotto, cave, whatever you want to call it, Fortress of Solitude. So shout out to everybody joining with us. See a lot of people out there. Let us know if you can hear me too, because we got both things over here.
Sorry.
Thanks.
I'm trying to pull the chat up so I can chat.
That's fine. So shout out to Wobbles. We got a Darkside Jedi. We have, of course, let me see who else is in here. Mr. Lords of the Long Box himself. We got Wookie Fodder's in here. We got Comic Stash. Comic Goon is here. What's up, everyone? What a dope surprise. Yes, what's going on? So yeah. Oh, what does this say?
No shop will be safe tomorrow. We hit up a couple shops today.
Yeah. So speaking of shops, what did we hit up? We hit up my local comic shop, Clockwork Comics and Cards in Union, New Jersey. I found a cool little book there because he just got a new collection, right? So that's cool that you got to see that.
That was pretty fun. It sucked though because, well, I look at it and like, God, it was just heartbreaking to see like all the books were not bagged and boarded. Not the shop's fault, but like he purchased it and he hadn't even gone through it yet. So he's pulling it out of like this Walmart tote, and they're old ass books. I mean, there's some gold in there.
Yeah,
and they're just like unbagged, unboarded. Some of them are like massive water damage. And you're just like cringing, like, oh god. But it was fun, dude. It was fun, kind of looking through them for the first time.
Yeah, he was pulling out. I pulled out a First Gambit.
Yeah, I was surprised to see that one.
That was really nice. Newsstand. We had 2 copies of Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 298. 299, no 300.
Right.
First Bishop was in there. First Magic was in there. It was a lot of good books.
A couple little like smaller keys, like middle realm keys, which is cool.
A lot of Thor stuff. He had early Doctor Strange stuff.
A lot of Doctor Strange stuff. Tim would love that because he's gay for Doctor Strange.
I think he even had some that 12 pence stuff, Doctor Strange, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah. But it was cool. I mean, was it just that one tote that we saw?
Oh, and then everything that was up on the countertop.
I didn't really see like the box.
Oh yeah, there was way too much stuff going through. So we went there and we spent a little money, and then we went out and got some cocktails and appetizers because this man over here didn't eat anything all day.
I had to travel on a plane at 6 a.m. Didn't get here till 2. I lost time. It's fun when I get to go home. I'm gonna go back in time. It'll be awesome. It's always good to go back from the East Coast to the West Coast, but.
And then we hit up a second shop closer to my house, JC Comics, which is in North Plainfield, New Jersey. And it was really good.
It's cool. It's a nice, clean shop. Very like ordered. I like the organization there. The little drawers that they had labeled was cool. And like, because a lot of times you'll see, everyone will have like the table and they'll have their long boxes or short boxes like underneath. And you have to pull the damn box out and you pull the top off. That dude had like the drawers. I thought it was cool. It's little things like that make like a comic book shop. You know what I mean?
And there's all the new stuff, right? Like I'm sure your shop.
Oh my god, he had like a massive wall of just all new, 2 weeks old, 3 weeks old, but like all the independent stuff. That was great. At the first shop, I picked up a bunch of independent stuff, like 3 issues of Noctera, which I've heard is great, but I haven't had a chance to read yet. So.
Yeah, I'll look for those the Penance Strange ones tomorrow or this weekend, Tim. I picked up some good books at the second shop. I got the
book
this week that was on our top 10, Mighty Avengers #1.
I know, and you're a bastard because I was looking for that one, and they had it labeled under WandaVision. I was looking under Avengers. What an idiot I am!
Yeah. But and then this guy comes to New Jersey and pulls out an Astonishing X-Men #6. And I go to that store every week, and I'm like, I can't believe all of a sudden I'm like, I know this cover. It's Astonishing X-Men 6.
It was a good price too. I think it was like $20.
Yeah, you gotta steal on that.
And it looks good. It's a 9.4 to a 9.8. You gotta look at it a little closer. But.
And it's crazy because I just bought a 9.8 in that because that's where I think Amelia Clark is going to be. I think she's going to be
Abigail Brand.
Yeah, they could introduce her and not be a mutant like they've done. They've done Quicksilver. They've done Scarlet Witch as non-mutants with powers. Why can't they do Abigail Brand with non-powers as like a non-mutant with powers?
And even if you don't get Abigail Brand, it's still like the first mention of Sword. So, which we do know is now in the universe.
Yeah,
so that's cool. So, but we'll see. A lot of room to grow. And honestly, if none of those things show up, that's just a fucking amazing cover.
Oh,
the Colossus holding Kitty Pryde. I mean,
it's a Killing Joke cover swipe. That's
awesome.
What it is. And a lot of people don't even realize that.
I've never realized that.
Are you serious?
That's wild. I honestly have never realized that until right now.
Oh my god, it's literally the Joker.
Well, I'm not gay for Batman, okay? I'm gay for Colossus. So
you just like a steel man holding
a little girl.
Yeah. How the hell did you never realize that?
I don't know.
Color swipe.
I've never realized that. That's crazy.
God damn. Well, we're here tonight live on YouTube, and then all this stuff will be put on the podcast sometime next week. Live chat. Let us know what you guys, want us to talk about. If there's any questions, we are here. We're here together, which has never happened before. So please, we see all the comments on StreamYard right now that we're recording this. So if you guys have any questions, let us know. I'll be controlling it. Checking out some more people who joined us. Like I see Comic Stash is still with us, talking Darkside Jedi, and then Wookiee Fodder's in there, and the Comic Goon, of course. You know what we didn't talk about this week on the podcast? We didn't talk about the Venom trailer.
The Venom trailer. Okay.
Why didn't we discuss this? We recorded it 2 days after it dropped, and we were talking about other stuff.
I think it's because we were kind of in a hurry. We were trying to do a quick show. We had some other stuff we wanted to talk about.
It still went an hour.
It still went an hour. And, but yeah. Well, it's okay. Before we get into Venom 2, because I'm not entirely sure what your opinion is on Venom 1. Venom 1. What do you think about the first Venom?
I think it's underrated, but I think it was a setup movie. Like, I don't think it was great. It wasn't great. I don't think it was terrible. It was that mediocre, like, hey, let's show who Venom is. The powers are cool. I think the action was cool, but I don't know how much I feel about this whole, like, it being two characters. No, like two characters.
Oh, he speaks out to
them. Because I feel like that's more of a new thing in the Donny Cates run where he speaks. And correct me if I'm wrong, the Rick Remender run, and even previously all the Lethal Protector, and even the Danny Way did that.
So the earlier stuff, yeah, and I'm not super Venom aficionado, but the earlier stuff, no, he doesn't have like him talking in his mind. But I don't think Donny Cates was the first person to do that. It's been around kind of recently for a while, but where he could actually like speak to the symbiote in his mind. But yeah, I don't know, dude. I did not like the first Venom. I didn't dislike it. I thought it was kind of cheesy, and I don't know. There were so many things about it I was not crazy about. And then when I watched it the second time, I even more so was like, oh my God, this is actually kind of a bad movie. And then there's I remember. It's been a while since I've seen it. I know my biggest problem with it was there was no good secondary characters. They fleshed out no other character besides Eddie Brock. And Wayland, whatever you pronounce her name, barely got any time. The villain was whack as fuck. I mean, there was no good supporting cast for this. And so you're trying to build a universe. You can't build a universe off one guy, one character. You know what I mean? And even if, let's say, Venom and Eddie Brock, you can't. You got to have a supporting cast moving forward. Not to mention the end scene initially where Woody Harrelson looked like Ronald McDonald with that fucking wig. It was horrible. But it sets things up. I understand it's an origin story, but yeah, I don't know. So anyway, the trailer for number 2. What do you think?
It was very underwhelming. as a teaser trailer, and we've been waiting for this for how long? This movie was supposed to come out last year in October, I think, right?
Yeah.
And now it's just so we would have got a trailer prior to COVID, but we didn't. We would have definitely won to San Diego Comic-Con if that would have happened. We would have had at least 3 trailers by the time it would have came out. We just got a trailer now. Like, I'm just I'm tired of it. Like, it didn't live up to any expectation that anybody was expecting.
Right.
Like and we've discussed this in the past. People complain if they get too much in a trailer, and then people complain if they don't get enough in a trailer. But even if what we saw is the trailer, the whole him singing in the beginning, again, I don't understand the talking back.
Yeah, that was weird.
What about you?
Actually, I thought the trailer for 2, I liked that better than I liked the whole movie of the first one. And for a couple of reasons. Well, yeah, I know. So Comic Goon is totally right. I wasn't sure if it was Comic Goon or Comic Stash. They fixed Woody Harrelson's hair right out the gate. And I'm excited. I'm excited for Woody Harrelson as Cletus Cassidy. In fact, that's probably the selling point for the movie for me. Is I'm like, okay, here we go. I really hope they do a little bit more. MCU, and I know this isn't MCU, so don't jump on me, but MCU and Marvel in a way has been like, have a villain, throw away a villain. So it scares me to have such a quintessential Venom villain like Carnage show up. Is he going to be a one-shot thrown away, or will he continue to show up? So that's a concern. But back to the trailer, I liked the Woody Harrelson stuff. I loved how we saw Shriek. So we're already kind of seeing a larger universe. And in that trailer, I got more of the Venom universe than I had in the whole first film.
Yeah.
In that trailer. So I appreciated that, More characters. We saw that there's the cop. I don't even know his name. He looks like he's got a decent role. So we have more supporting cast. So I think just based on the trailer was better than the first movie, in my opinion.
Wow.
The whole first movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Even with the singing and the creating the breakfast in the beginning?
Well, I would leave that part out, actually.
Well, that's going to be in the movie.
That was goofy. Yeah. And even like him walking into the shop, like when he was talking to the teller.
Yeah.
And he's like, hi, Mrs. Chen, or whatever. Like, where's my chocolate milk or whatever? I don't know what the fuck it was. I was like, come on, dude. I don't know. Nah, not about that.
Right.
So, but I'm excited for it. Not excited. That's not right. I'm not excited for it, but I'm ready for it. I'd like to see it. I want to see how they do it. I'm worried that Carnage is going to be a throwaway. My other concern is, who was the villain in the first one? It was Venom. And a Venom lookalike. And now we get another Venom lookalike, which is Carnage. Like, you're not branching off or doing anything different in terms of a villain in a storyline. You know what I mean?
We're going to get 2 villains now. You're going to get Shriek, and you're going to get
2 Venoms.
Yeah, you're going to get two
Venom
symbiotes.
versus 2 symbiotes.
Well, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And Tim said it. Like, you're going to get your Spider-Man and Venom are like cornflakes. Like, they go together like milk and cornflakes. That's what it is. You can't have these characters that are going to show up and it just be. And we were just discussing this, having beer and burgers. Flash's villains are always speedsters.
They're always speedsters.
Venom is nothing but his villains are. You're basically just doing symbiotes,
right?
Like, where are you going to go next for a symbiote? You're going to do toxin, or anti-venom,
Well, and I think that speaks to why Venom's solo runs until, honestly, Donny Cates has the most prolific Venom solo run of any Venom solo run. Because they don't last, because everyone gets bored seeing the same stuff. Like, at least Spider-Man's fighting different kinds of villains. It's always some animal-based asshole in some costume, but they're different people, whether they're, the Shocker or Vulture or something like that. It's not symbiote after symbiote after symbiote. I mean, if you want Venom to get in the big leagues, you got to branch him out. You got to give him a bigger villain. You got to give him other people to go against. I mean, look, Null is just another symbiote.
Yeah. So
I don't know.
And that was a full run. Like, I thought about this now that it's basically over, the Venom run.
Right.
All he fought was Null. The whole series was Null.
Yeah.
If you think about it, all 34 up to 35 issues has just been Null the whole time. It's never been like a branch off and where we're going to get these different characters. So, but let's kind of get out of the Carnage thing. Like, it was whether you call it a full trailer or a teaser trailer.
Yeah, I don't even know, because sometimes a teaser these days are like a 3-minute trailer. So, I don't even know anymore what you call them. It was cool. It's good to see after a year and a half or a yearish of like nothing, I'll take whatever they give me at this point. You know what I mean?
But remember, like Morbius? Morbius is a trailer that was awesome.
God, we haven't heard anything.
I know. And then it fell off. And
Yeah.
now it's like, when are we going to get that? Like, I love the trailer for Morbius. Both. Like, the international and American ones were great. They showed a lot. The teaser and the full. And now, where'd the movie go?
I don't know. It's still, I don't know. Tim's in the chat. Maybe he can tell us where Morbius stands. Oh, one other thing, though. Have you seen about, like, in the trailer, how there was talks about the, like, the Avenger type or the MCU shout out with the newspaper?
Oh, that's so stupid.
It could be a reach, but, like, and everyone's like, oh, it says, like, the end of the word Avenger fights Nightmare.
Yeah.
In, like, the newspaper clipping. I don't know. I mean, I think Sony is shooting themselves in the foot if they don't allow the MCU to have a bigger foothold in their universe, because they can't do it. It's going to hurt them in the long run. They got to find some way to meet in the middle here. So if you keep having Venom with no Spider-Man, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, I agree. So, it's definitely going to be tough. But moving on to some other stuff. If anybody has any questions, definitely reach out. Throw it in the live chat. You know what we didn't talk about at all? Another movie, and this is right up our alley. The Green Knight.
Oh, yes.
Did you see that trailer this week?
I haven't seen the new one. I saw the original one, and I meant to, and I saw it. I think you posted or someone posted.
Yeah, I threw it in our
chat, and I was like, oh, I want to watch that, but I was like busy with work.
Damn it, I can't even talk about it then.
No, you can talk about it.
No, I mean, we know the story of the Green Knight.
Right. The Arthurian legend,
yeah. Yeah, the Arthurian legend.
Gawain the Green Knight.
Yes, how he comes to Arthur and says, someone fight me, and someone steps up, and it's not Arthur, it's one of his other squires. Mm-hmm. And he basically says 1 year hence. And that's the whole story, is what's happening for this year and him trying to hunt down and then finding the Green Knight. But man, dude, this is like this trailer. I can't believe you didn't watch the trailer. We didn't talk about it.
I know. I got to watch it. I mean, that's my shit though. Like, Arthurian legend is the origin of how I got into like reading, which led to comics and fantasy and all that stuff. Anything King Arthur. I've devoured all that stuff. So I saw it and it's great. I know there's a lot of trolls on the internet. They're upset that it's, I don't know is he Pakistani, the guy from
he looks
Slumlord, Slumdog Millionaire.
Yeah.
And so what? There's a massive Pakistani community in the UK, and he's a great actor. I like it, dude. I'm looking forward to it. I
thought it was very Guillermo del Toro, like the character. Like when you see him in the second trailer, because you see him very briefly in the first trailer, and it's more of not the lore. Like you don't get it.
Right.
But in the second trailer that they just dropped this week was a lot more that we've even read like in Once and Future and previously.
Okay, cool.
So we're definitely going to watch. Yeah, we definitely have to watch. I would watch it now. I would put it on a share screen, but I'm afraid we'll get copyrighted and then the stream is going to end here on YouTube. So shout out to everybody with us tonight. Woogie Fodder says, anybody seen the Netflix He-Man teaser? That was pretty dope. Have you seen some of I don't think there's a video out yet.
I saw the stills.
I've seen the stills.
Yeah. And I heard Mark Hamill's voice in Skeletor. Is that right?
I think that's
what I thought maybe Tim said in the chat.
Yeah, I think that's what he said in our
It's perfect.
I mean, of course.
Honestly, get him to voice anything. So
but then there was one photo that had Evelyn that looked like almost she was on like the side of good. Did you know there was like one screenshot? There was like 5 characters. She was like all the way to the right, and it looked like she was like still good.
I saw like Man at Arms. Yeah. What's the wizard's name? The floating Orko. Yeah. Yeah. It looked awesome. Look, I haven't been disappointed with Netflix's cartoons at all. Did you ever watch Voltron?
No.
On Netflix? Oh my god, it's awesome. Voltron was great. It wasn't Netflix, but did you ever watch the most recent iteration of Thundercats?
Oh, hell yeah.
That was awesome too.
Oh, God, yeah. On
Cartoon Network? On Cartoon Network, yeah.
Hell yeah.
That was great.
I still have all the toys. Like, they came out at a time where I think I was working at Target years ago, and I bought them all. Like, I have all they're like 3-inch, like 3/4 inch, whatever they're called.
And they like ended it early, right?
Yeah, they did like 2 seasons.
And then it just stopped. It didn't get like, it was a dope show.
The action was awesome.
You got to watch Voltron.
I'll give it a shot.
So the voice of Glenn and the guy from Invincible,
yeah,
he's one of he's the Red Voltron, the original Red Voltron. I can't remember his name. the characters. But
I
it's
watched
awesome.
when I was younger, but
it's so good, man. It's like 5 or 6 seasons. It's really, really
holy
good.
shit, really? That
Yeah, it went really.
But
for a
all right,
while.
so, but now on a Netflix show, 6 seasons could be like 30 episodes,
No,
right?
oh no, it's probably like 12 or 15 episodes a season.
Really?
Maybe something like that.
Damn, they went, but that's better than half these other shows that only get like 6 episodes.
It was awesome. It was really, really good, and it's like legit to the lore. It's awesome. I love Voltron.
There it is. Yeah, Tim says Lena Headley as Evelyn. Wow, that's really good. I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll definitely take that as a character.
Comic Stash asked, did you ever watch Tron Uprising on Disney?
Oh, hell yeah. Tron Uprising is awesome, man. The prequel to Tron Legacy.
I never did. I love Tron, but I never
It's
watched
on
it.
Disney Plus.
It's animated though, right?
Oh, yeah. It's it goes with, I can't think of the guy's name. You'll throw it out there, the main character's name, but it's like prequel to, it's in between
His
what
son,
happens,
yeah.
what happens in Tron Legacy. It's not his son, it's Quinn. Come on, throw out the guy's name on Tron Legacy Comic Stash. I know who it is.
Flynn.
No, not even Flynn. It's like the main character, but he plays like as Tron. But like Cora's in there. Like you see Cora for a little bit. You know of Clue because that's the whole thing with Legacy is.
He says Beck.
Oh, Beck. There it is. Thank you so much.
Okay.
I haven't seen it in a while, but yeah, that went like 2 seasons. I thought that was a good show.
I liked Tron Legacy, the movie. I wish they would have kept going with it.
Yeah, they were supposed to do a third one, and the continuation would have been because Clinton Murphy is the son of the guy, the villain in the first movie, and they kind of the idea was to bring him in for the third one and kind of him be the villain, like go into the
world also.
Yeah,
I like Tron, man. Tron's great.
I love Cora. She was super hot. Super.
Yeah. So one of the topics we kind of also wanted to talk about that we never did was there's a lot of, I don't want to say there's a lot of drama, but there's a lot of, I feel like I'm seeing a lot of people talking about it more right now. And I think it's very interesting is the CBCS versus CGC stuff right now.
Yeah.
So obviously, if you've been sending stuff to CGC lately, it's been horrendous. Like the wait times are just god awful. They're putting out, I'm seeing it online, them trying to hire people all the time. A lot of people it seems like more prevalent now about people complaining about like issues with their books coming back, like misgraded, pubes inside them. You've seen the ones with the
insect,
pubes?
Yeah, I've seen like
in the cases.
A bug.
A bug.
Well, I told you about the one that Darth Vader 3 was backwards.
Yeah. Or like a total, I saw another one where it was like mislabeled completely. It was like
Venom.
Yeah, the Venom one. Yeah, the Venom one. It was instead of Venom 3, it was like Venom 25 or whatever like that. So anyway, a lot of people upset with CGC. So a buddy of mine, Behind the Red Hood, Rob from used to be Torpedo Comics, has just gone to war on Instagram against CGC and like the issues he's had. And it's funny because he's been doing this for like 2 weeks now, kind of like, and you can see the progression. Like he started off like kind of like an annoyance, like I don't know what's going on, and kind of like start off like these wait times are killing my business. I'm trying to I have thousands of books there, and then you can see like each week he's losing his or each post he's getting more and more upset, and then shit happens. And then like today I was showing you, he recently posted how CGC reached out to him about how his books were all beat to shit.
Yeah, that was.
And then they blamed it on the shipping, and he was like, "No, there's no way. They've been sitting in a warehouse for a while. Like you did that. Send them back to me. This is bullshit." So I don't know what's the answer. We all know CGC has the higher value. Someone looks at the same book, CBCS to CGC, and sales wise, and that's what it really matters. Is sales wise, CGC sells higher. But the question should be, why? Do they have better graders? I don't think so. It's the same people. It's just a skill set. So why are they considered the better of the two? And honestly, I know some people I've heard stalwarts in the community are like, well, Tim being one of them, who is like, they're the leading people, blah, blah, blah. But I think we do the community a disservice by having one above the other. You need to have people competing. Look what happened with Diamond. When you have a monopoly, it hurts the game, I think. So I don't know. What do you think?
I think it sucks. I think we looked at the turnaround times, and for a modern book was like 40, what was it, like almost 55 days, I think, working days,
Yeah.
which is terrible because I was sending in books prior to COVID and just around COVID. I think I was getting them back in like 3 weeks.
Dude, I remember that because I was thinking about sending books and you're like, dude, I got my books back in like 3. It was May. It was this time last year.
Yeah.
It was this time last year. You were getting books back in like 4 weeks.
I was sending in 25 a clip, whether it be pre-screens, just
you were doing all those like 9.8 pre-screens back then. Yeah.
I was doing the mystery boxes last year. Like they were coming back every month. I was getting back like 25 books graded. And I was either doing the mystery box or I was just selling books. Now, my most recent submission, and I showed Zach, they were received on March 12th and they just shipped today. Like just finally graded today. That's 2 months basically.
It's crazy.
Like, what am I going to do? I'm either going to wait. And so this is what you were saying about CGC and CBCS. I'm trying to make money on some of these books. And some of these books that I have raw, like I think they're good prices. So what I did was I had 2 copies, I should say, of Marvel Special Edition 16, which is second appearance of Shang-Chi.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I could send it to CGC and pray that I get it back in time for the movie to sell.
Which is what, November or December?
October? September? We talked about it. September. Yeah, it's
September. So all those months.
Yeah, all those months.
In the fall.
Yeah. So praying that I get it. But the problem is it's not a modern. So it goes under economy because it's 1974 and modern is 1975 and up. So first of all, I get screwed because it's not a modern book, which that's fine. I get it. But I didn't even look at the economy times. I think it's double what modern is. So I said, fuck it. I said, I'm going to send these to CBCS. It's I think it was like 4 to 5. It actually says 4 to 5 weeks turnaround.
Yeah.
So that means they get it. Let's say they get it this month. I'll get it back by July. So I have enough time that I know that I can sell these books ready for when the movie comes out. I guarantee I couldn't do that for CGC.
Yeah, and like I get it. You know, if you'd asked me the same question two years ago, I'm like, hell no, I'm not buying a CBCS book, and not because of, and I don't mean it like to like talk shit on CBCS. It's just because I know if I want to sell it, I'm not going to get the same value. Mm. And honestly, that's probably still true right now, but that shit's not going to change unless we all kind of like do it. Like, I don't know, man. Maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't, but I'm putting together another pack of books to get sent off, and they're going to CBCS because I'm not going to wait. I mean, the books that I'm sending off to get graded are not books for my personal collection. They're books to flip, to buy books for my personal collection. And like you just said, like I can't wait 9 months. For example, I sent such a garbage ass book, but I stick one. No, I sent a Thor book, you know, one of the Black Winter, which was like hot for a while, and I sent it right away. Still don't have that shit back. And that's not gonna be worth anything right now. It's such garbage, you know, but that's the problem, man. I need to grab another beer. You need one?
Yeah. Grab me one while you're up. So like you were saying with the CGC and CBCS, I think I just sent in like 15 different books to CGC, which if I'm not selling these books, I don't mind the long turnaround times.
Right.
But when you have a longer turnaround time, like I sent in a ton of Hawkeye ones because I think Kate Bishop, obviously the show is coming out this year in 2021. So I want these books back. So when the show drops, I can actually sell these books. So those books, I think I'll get back in time for the show. Those I don't mind going to CGC. But anything else, like there's no way I'm sending anything for Eternals now because there's no way an Eternals book is coming back prior to the movie. Hobgoblin, if you're sending in like a first Hobgoblin thinking he's showing up in
you will be Spider-Man. Lucky any book comes back before the end of 2021 at this point. If you sent today, it's not coming back 2021. I think my books were sent. Erod sent my books in early January. I sent them to Erod to press, and then he sent them to CGC early January, and I just got them back this week. So it's crazy.
Rocket I sent books to Rocket. They pressed them. I think it was like about a month or two ago that I got the invoice for Rocket. They sent them to CGC. And since they're under their account, I can't even check it. So I don't know if it's checked in. I don't know when I'm getting it back. One miraculous day, they're just going to show up on my doorstep and I'll have books graded. And I'll be like, all right, well, I guess I'm either selling these books or keeping them. Like,
yeah, that's the same. Actually, I have books with Rocket as well. And they had emailed me like, hey, we're sending your books tomorrow. And that might have been like in April or something. But like, and not like a dig on Rocket by any means. I don't know if they sent them the next day. I really don't know where they're at. They could have like still not been sent. It kind of sucks, like not knowing. Like with Erod, I knew he sent me like the
tracking.
the screenshot of that they had been received.
Oh, all right.
So that was cool, So at least I knew they got received.
I guess you could
I can
ask
reach out.
Rocket. Yeah.
I'm sure they'd tell me.
I'm sure. Yeah, they'll have it under their own. I'm sure they do every invoice because then that invoice gets sent back to like me or to you. So they know which ones they have to look for. Like if I had 12 books, they'll just look for that invoice that has 12. But I don't know. I'm just so at this point with CGC that I'm like, am I going to get these books back in time to sell them?
Right.
Or do I just say screw it and just sell it raw and say, hey, it's a near mint copy and I get my near mint price?
Well, that's what who said it here? Someone said about just keeping your books raw for right now. Well, in the other appeal to me, to be honest with you right now with CBCS is they're in Texas. They're in Dallas. So it's a quicker turnaround for me. Like I was telling you, I can even take my books out there and not worry about shipping them out and like worried about any damage and just like hand them off and hope that mitigates some of any, shipping issues that you have. So
Comic Stash, we are currently in New Jersey. We are in my house, in my basement. So you get a little bit of a view of what I see every day. My Zatanna statue in the back, some Star Wars stuff, original art back there, and some Star Wars. So we're here in New Jersey. Zach came here for the weekend from El Paso. Let's see what some other questions we got down here. Bilbo Hauser, what's going on, man? Biggest issue is the less quality control of sending things to CGC and getting damaged. Yes, and we were just talking about that, how things get damaged.
Mm-hmm.
And, you hope and pray that it's, because I sent in books pre-screen last year, and I could have sworn that these books didn't have, like, crunches in it. And I pack it, and I told you how I pack my books. I clamshell them, I put them in magazine bags, bubble wrap the hell out of them, and then I put them in a box, and I'm like, there's no way, even if someone stepped on the box, they are not getting damaged. Like, there's no way. So,
yeah, I mean, Rob from Behind the Red Hood, this guy, it's his business. This isn't his first time shipping books, and to see his books come back with corners, like, dinged up and look like the box was dropped literally on the corner of the box.
Yeah.
Even if that happened, I'm sure this guy does not pack his books like that they would be damaged. It makes no sense. And so their lack of accountability as well is an issue. It's just, they know they have the monopoly. They know that they don't have to up their quality or their customer service and their quality control because, hey, CGC has the value. CGC has the name. In fact, when people say graded, they just say CGC rather than graded.
Yeah.
It's the McDonald's or the Coke of the industry.
Yeah.
So,
and we were talking, we talked about this in the car where CGC. Someone, I think it was I want to say it's Timora Comics posted a meme where it said that CGC turnaround times are X, and you're happy with it, but then it's like, oh, CGC is throwing out a new private signing.
Yeah,
it's like. And then those people get priority. So it's like books that I don't want to get, maybe a book that I don't want to get signed and graded. I just want to get graded. Mm-hmm. But it's like, oh, well, now the artist or writer he's going to be there. I could get it back faster because it's like I could just have him sign it and get it back in a certain time way quicker than if I just sent it in normally.
Right.
But like now it's like getting to a point like I'm wondering why they're doing this. Are they doing this because they can't be hard out for money because clearly they're making enough money with all these books.
Well, they're definitely making more money off the private signings. So it takes a precedence for them. And they also are getting, it's notoriety with writers and artists and distributors and publishing companies. So it's like, it's better for them than to do this like private signing than it is to get books from you or I. You know what I mean? Like you or I we're their marijuana. That's their cocaine. That's where they make their money. So they're drug dealers, bro.
Not a fan of it. We're definitely not a fan of it. So
yeah, and I think like Bilbo says, time to demand more for the slabs you sell because it will take a year to replace it. Current modern spec, it's flip raw game or slab long game, and that's true. And honestly, when I get books back from CBCS. I'm going to price them equivalent to CGC. I'm going to price them the way I would price a book regardless. I'm not going to price them less than I would at CGC. And I'm not going to allow someone to be like, well, I'll give you $200 less because it's CBCS. I'll just keep the book.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care, dude. You know, it's no sweat off my balls. So
shout out to Sequential Geek in here. Thanks so much for joining. CGC be sending cracked cases and losing books lately in their new building. I got to say, I've never received a cracked book from CGC. And now that I say that, I'm going to get my 5 Something is Killing the Children books back cracked.
I have got you know which one I got back? So I don't have a lot of experience sending books off. I years ago sent my personal collection, a bunch of my books off and got them graded. And
fuck you, Tim.
And I sent New Mutants 98, came back a 9.8, crack slab.
And then you got to send it back.
Enough that there was even like when you moved it, there was the corner piece was floating around in there. And luckily, it wasn't in with the book. It was in the top where the grade slab is. The label is. But I didn't send it back. I just sold it the way it was. Fuck it. But crazy.
That's bad. Anyway, what else? What are the questions we got out there for the live chat? Shout out to everybody who's joining us tonight, live from New Jersey. ComicCom podcast is here for you. So throw out some questions. We will gladly answer anything. What else do we have on our lists to talk about?
Wookie Fodder says last order, one of the books he had a long gray hair in the case.
Oh, I think Wookie. Yeah, I think I saw
Nasty,
that.
Dude.
I've seen like I said, I've seen the case with the hair. I've seen the case with the bug. That was somebody was actually trying to sell the book. I saw the backwards Dr. Aphra, Darth Vader #3, which is just that I don't get. Like, I can understand if it's a flip book, but like if it's just a regular book, do you not understand? Like, here's the front cover, here's the trade dress.
There's clearly no quality control. Clearly, like no one is checking work that's done. And if they're not checking work that's done, how can I trust their grading skills? You know what I mean? I don't know. You can't even understand the front of a comic book to the back of a comic book, and then I'm supposed to trust your grading? Like, come on, man.
Why is Tim throwing out all these private signings? Mark Bagley, Jim Starling.
Because he brought up like there was a Jason Momoa one, which was weird. Like, why would you want Jason Momoa to sign your Aquaman books at a CGC signing it? But there's some legit ones as well. Like, yeah, those are cool signings. But
so, Comic Stash, are you automatically a Brooklyn Nets fan now? No, actually, I'm not. Basketball, God, I don't really have a team anymore. I used to be a Warriors fan when I was younger because I just liked Golden State. And then I was a Orlando Magic fan for years, but I don't really have a basketball team anymore because there's no like the
NBA sucks.
Well, the NBA sucks, yes, but there's no like loyalty. Like every time I want to buy a player's jersey, they're like gone in 2 years. It's like, why did I waste my money? Because jerseys are not cheap.
There's no point in following a team. You might as well just follow a player.
Yeah. Well, no, it's the reverse. You might as well just follow the team, not the player, because the players. Like I'm gonna buy like a LeBron jersey on Cleveland, and then he goes.
Well, I guess you mean for a jersey wise, yes, but like if you want to follow NBA, just follow a player, don't pick a team.
Oh yeah, well then that.
Yeah, it's horrible. And LeBron's the worst one. He's the one who started the build your own team aspect, where you just go and build super teams. Sucks.
Yeah.
Bilbo's got a good one.
What do we got, Bilbo? Bilbo, G1. Oh, G.I. Joe #1 or Transformers 1? Which do you buy now for spec CGC? So I think the G.I. Joe 1 is actually a cheaper book to buy now than the Transformers 1.
And I think obviously with spec in books, it revolves around what's going to come out live action. And I think you'll get a live action G.I. Joe before you'll get another live action Transformers.
Well, this was actually just posted today, and we're going to get a trailer on Sunday for the G.I. Joe Snake Eyes movie.
Yes.
So we just saw some screenshots of that.
Looked awesome.
Yes, look pretty badass. So you have a better chance of buying a G.I. Joe 1, probably a CGC 9.8 or near mint, than you do buying a Transformers 1 near mint or CGC 9.8, because 9.8s for CGC Transformers are going like $3K, which is insane. I wanted to upgrade, and I'm so pissed I didn't upgrade last year. I have a 9.6 Transformers.
Your name's Nemesis Prime.
I know. I have a 9.6 Transformers 1. I could have upgraded to a 9.8. It would have been about $1,000, and I could have just sold the 9.6. Probably got $200-300 for it. Now I can't even upgrade that. I can't sell a 9.6 and now try to buy a 9.8 for like $2-3K.
Yeah,
I'm out. I'm done. I'm out.
I don't know a lot about the G.I. Joe. So G.I. Joe 1, whose first appearances did we get in G.I. Joe 1? Do you know?
Everybody, a lot.
Obviously, like Duke,
The main
Snake
ones, yeah.
Eyes, Scarlet,
Yeah, the main ones.
Okay.
Baroness,
Cobra
Destro,
Commander,
yeah,
Destro,
stuff like
okay.
that. Comic Stash has got a really good question. Do you guys think Mask will ever come to fruition? I don't know.
Mask of the.
Yeah, and well, that was like a cartoon comic in like the 80s.
I don't remember that at all.
Oh, yeah. I it could. I mean, with the whole Hasbro trying to make like a big shared universe, maybe.
Mhm.
It's funny you mentioned like, you know, a show like that. I actually just picked up a Visionaries 1. And like we were at a shop and my comic shop owner, I was like, oh, Visionaries 1. And this guy over here didn't know anything of what Visionaries was.
Look, a bunch of dudes carrying around mirrors.
Yeah, like staff mirrors. So if anybody's
assholes.
grown up in the 80s and knows what Visionaries is, give me a thumbs up in the live chat, because then you are old enough to know what Visionaries the cartoon was.
Look, I grew up in the 80s, but I've never heard of that.
It's one season. That's all it was. 12 episodes. I actually had, you know, I have it on a bootleg DVD. Like, you ever go to ComicCon and there's like that vendor who has all the bootleg DVDs and stuff? That's where I bought it from.
I know who he is because I bought a bootleg DVD of Ronin Warriors from him, that guy, and I have both seasons of Ronin Warriors on a bootleg.
I think Tim knows what's up. Visionaries was the shit.
Tim's oldest fucking.
Well, yeah,
bird.
Tim's old, but Tim at least knows like good cartoons. So. Here we go. We got Dark Side Jedi.
Oh, we're getting into good questions.
Oh, we're getting into the questions. What do you guys think about other spec sites not giving credit to scoops that were done a year before by superior channels? Well, superior channels, I guess you're talking about that other channel called Lords of the Longbox. But I guess it's the Ricky Bobby quote of "If you're not first, you're last."
Yeah. So, you know what? Okay, here's the deal. Here's the thing about Justin and I is we'll tackle all the hard topics. I'll tell you the truth. The truth is, Lords of the Long Box came with most of the spec that you are getting now a long time before you knew years ago. Okay, and I'm going to tell you the truth, straight up, real. There was for a while that Tim was putting out spec, and I was like, this is fucking garbage spec. Like, I don't believe this shit's happening. And I honestly was keeping track of them, and I was going to dog him out on the ones he was wrong on, like years later. And I'm glad I didn't, because a lot of them have come to fruition. Now, Slapstick, he'll always eat shit for that one. But I think the issue is people forget. So most of this spec that's coming out, Lords of the Long Box has dropped it years ago. And now people are getting to the front and they're like, oh, did you guys hear about this now? It's like, well, you didn't listen 2 years ago when they told you, give me an example.
Moon Girl
Was coming out, and now there's a Moon Girl cartoon.
I bought up so many Devil Dinosaur #1s. I should have bought the Moon Girls. I bought some Moon Girls.
Yeah.
I bought the 1 in 25 Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur #1, which I probably paid about $100. The last 9.8 sold for over $2K, and I just sent it to CGC. So I wish I would have bought more Moon Girl Devil Dinosaurs #1 instead of just buying Devil Dinosaur. But when we talked about it on Lords of the Long Box like 2 years ago, I was buying Moon Girl Devil Dinosaurs by like the handful. I think at one point I had about 12, and I'm down to about 5 now. I have a couple graded 9.8s, and then I have a bunch of raws that I need to send it. But every time I saw them at a vendor, because they were nothing, they were like a $15, $20 book. I was just like, I'm going to buy it because nobody knows about it. Now all of a sudden, it's like Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur is like a hot thing.
So for me also, I don't have the benefit of the multiple shops and able to, like, if I'm looking for these books, I got to go on eBay, which a lot of times I wasn't really doing that. Oh,
You're looking good.
So the spec stuff, like, I think the big one I got from Tim a long time ago was the Blue Beetle stuff. The Infinite Crisis #5 and #3. I picked that shit up a couple copies a while ago. The other big one that was not like lots of money for me, but Stained Glass Scarlet.
Yeah.
I bought 4 or 5 of those for like $10, and I sold them for probably like $200 total. Something like that.
Nice.
Easy. I mean, that's not big money, but that's a good turnaround.
It's a quick flip.
And Stained Glass Scarlet ain't even come out yet. So
Yeah.
there is definitely people are not giving credit where credit's due.
Yeah.
I think they're forgetting. It's the truth.
And the problem is a lot of these other YouTube channels, like they know they heard it on Lords of the Long Box.
Right.
Without a doubt.
They don't
There's
want to
people,
give credit, though.
they don't want to be like, oh, well, we heard this on Lords of the Long Box. They're just like, oh, I'm throwing out this book like 2 years later and being like, well, you know, I think this book is going to grow. Yeah, you heard it on Lords of the Long Box because you commented on the Lords of the Long Box.
You know where you heard it.
You were in the live chat when we fucking talked about it.
Right.
Whether it would be on one other show I was on, Zach, or, you know, the rest of the guys on Lords of the Long Box, you know who you are.
Yeah.
So definitely Dark Side Jedi, great question. Next up, I saw Bilbo had a good question, and I will definitely tackle this one. So, Something is Killing the Children 16 is an origin story, but will it be highly ordered? Do you still stock up? Do you go after the low print retailer exclusive variants? Any flip ops? So, I think I saw the print run of Something is Killing the Children 16 at about, I swear I saw the number in like the 100, and way more in the 100,000s than I've ever seen for any book.
For cover A.
For cover, well, just the order itself.
Because does that include all the variants?
Well, yeah, because you're going to have to add in the the 1 in 10s, the 1 in 25s, the 1 in
and there's a fuck ton of variants.
No, not store exclusive, just the retailers.
Okay,
the retailers. But highly ordered, I don't think. I have like 7 or 8 of these exclusive variants on order, and I think the best ones to go for are the low print runs. I think right now the lowest print run that I saw was Rabbit Comics had a print run of 250 for a pink variant. They had the cover A, which was color. They had the cover B, which was a black and white, and then they did a pink variant, which was like the black and white, but it had like a pink outline.
Okay.
And I think the print run was like 250. I think right now that's actually the shortest print run of all these books. There's also Comic Tom, who's throwing out some huge print run of like it's like 2,000 for like the trade dress and 1,000 for the Virgin, which I think is way too much. All these other retailers they usually do no more than like 500. The ones that do any more than 500, you're definitely not gonna be able to flip them. Actually, I should take that back. You'll be able to flip them for like, you bought them for 20, you'll flip it for 40. But these ones that have print runs of like 500, you buy them for 20 or 30, and you easily flip them for 100, if not more. Because I've seen what some of these other ones are already going for. So, good question.
It reminds me, so this is not really a topic that I'm super knowledgeable, like the variants and print runs and stuff. That's not my forte, right? And you know what it reminds me of, though, and correct me if I'm wrong, is TMNT Last Ronin had a ton of exclusives also. Everyone had a variant for that. And I don't know what the values on those books still look like right now, to be honest with you. I know for a while they were pretty hot. I haven't checked up on them in a while. But, yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know. I think when you have all those, it obviously is going to do the book a disservice, right?
Oh, yeah. The more of the variants there are, like the Miracle Molly. Oh, J2 Ramirez, man.
Oh.
Even, the Batman 108, like the Miracle Molly. Like the fact that they pushed it so much and then variant after variant after variant, like it gets to the point where it just whittles down the main cover and nobody's going to care. Because not only that, but Miracle Molly was in 106. Like
107. Was it the yellow cover? 107?
106. No, it's 106. 106 is the yellow cover.
Okay.
So that's what it is. In me, I'm going to go with first appearances, just like Punchline. It's like the Hello Risen Batman 89. Right. I go with one. Now I'm going to go with 106 for Miracle Molly. Yeah, you could tell me that the entire 108 is all about Miracle Molly, and there's a million variants, and she's on the 1 in 25 variant. But that book is worth nothing.
Right.
The
she's
one
on the cover of all the 108s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one in the art germ variant is cool. Then there's like the foil, which is like a 1 in 50. But
KRS's is really cool too. It's almost like the Vogue.
Tim got that one. The Natalie Sanders.
That one's really cool, and it looks like a Vogue
magazine
cover. And that one's really cool.
Natalie Sanders kills on all those, man.
Yeah.
KRS does all of them, like the Catwoman. They did the Punchline, which is really hot. I'm trying to think who else they've done. Catwoman, the Punchline. They haven't done a Poison Ivy. They did a Harley.
Okay.
They really need to do a Poison Ivy. KRS, if you're listening, do a Poison Ivy Vogue magazine one. I really need that.
Yo, what up, James? Shout out to the King of the Golden State
Oh, look who's here.
and Marco.
What's going on, guys?
Yeah.
Thank you, man. We're trying to do some lives. Yeah, so Tim says, 106 cameo and 108 is the first appearance. Yes, exactly what it is. But again, what's worth more money, the Hell Arisen 3 or the Batman 89?
Hey, market always dictates.
I'm going to go with the Batman 106. So get out there and buy those Batman 106s.
Yeah, that Hell Arisen, man, I just got back that Hell Arisen
Oh.
3 9.8. I was super happy about that.
And you're holding on to that, right, though?
Oh, yeah, there's room to grow on that guy, for sure.
What else did you got back? You got back some other
I got back some Kanans.
This guy got Kanan 1s and he won't sell them to me
I
yet.
got 4 Kanan 1s. You know, first appearance.
First appearance.
I know everyone talks about issue 6. It's completely incorrect. CGC, the GOAT. You got to listen to CGC, right? They're the greatest company out there. Well, they label it number 1. That's the first appearance.
Wait, but did they update it? Because my Bam Pow variant says first appearance of Caleb Dune, Kanan Jarrus. Does yours actually say all of them?
I don't know. Keep talking. Let me look it up.
That's actually a good question.
I'm pretty sure it does.
Because what's interesting is Kanan number 1, the second printing still says only Caleb Dune, Kanan Jarrus. They haven't updated it with Ezra and Sabine and Hera and all them. So
I'm not sure I'm going to have a clear enough picture. It does say all of them.
Oh, it does.
Oh yeah. The script is super long. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Tim, seeing Kanan in the Bad Batch was really interesting. And if anybody's checked out our most recent episode that we just dropped this week on the podcast talking about whitewashing the Bad Batch, was hilarious. We're not going to get into it now. Please go back and listen to it on the podcast of the whitewashing of characters and their facial features, which is just absolutely stupid. But we had a really good topic on that, which is, oh God.
So James says he has 7 copies of Kanan number 1. I would be normally super impressed by that, except I just saw a whole fucking box full of Kanan number 1s at this guy's house. He's just over here hoarding them. A whole, how many slabs are in there? 25 slabs?
30.
30 slabs?
30 slabs.
30 Kanan number 1s. It's absurd.
And the Darth Vader 3s.
The Darth Vader 3s.
I post on Instagram for anybody, everybody who follows me, Nemesis Prime, you've seen the Kanan, but to see it in person, what does that look? What is that like, Zach, when you see one book that many times?
It's crazy because it's true. I don't know what's more impressive. Like, you've posted the pictures and I see it like on the couch when you sit down. I'm like, okay, yeah, he's got a lot of them. And that's great. But then I see him like in the little short box for the slabs. And I'm like, holy shit, that whole box of slabs are all Kanan 1s. Like, it's a little bit more.
Because then you look at it and you're like, wow, the money that could be there.
I know. I'm already trying to tell you what to do with that money. You need to be listening.
It's coming.
You got to have a goal with that money. That's all I'm saying. Have a goal.
I'm gonna buy a Nissan Skyline.
Perfect. Do it
with wings.
Do it.
I mean, the book's jumped. The book has jumped in a year. I love it.
Yeah. Well, you were on the phone with me when I bought those Kanan number 1s.
Yeah, because you were in another state.
I was in Georgia. Yeah, Georgia. And I was at 8th and Charles, right?
Second and Charles.
I was like, hey, what about this little, looks like a variant cover, but Kanan number 1s with Vader on the front. And there was 4 of them. 2 came back 9.6, 2 came back 9.8. Pretty good.
Oh, wait, and they were probably like a $4 buy, right?
I spent $8 on those. Yeah.
Easy money.
Yeah, I think Tim's right. So, about like the first appearance of whenever Mando shows up in the comics.
Oh, Grogu and Mando. That thing will be huge. Yeah, Dennis Hayes. Yes, we should be on 2 different screens, but since you're just joining us, our man Zack actually came all the way from El Paso, Texas this weekend. He's hanging out in Jersey, staying at my place. So that's why we're doing this surprise live show. Because you not only get to see both of us on one big old screen. So
yeah, man.
This is what we're here for. So
tomorrow we're going to be out at a cookout with the Darth Castle crew. A bunch of the statue guys out in Elmwood?
Elmwood, yeah.
Elmwood Park. Statue collector, Tim, a bunch of those guys, PJ. It'll be fun, man.
We'll
have a good old
time.
Then
Sunday, if anybody's in New Jersey, Sunday we will be bright and early at the Wayne Comic Book Show up in Wayne, New Jersey. So if you want to see us and meet this guy, I'm always there. So I'm nobody. But if you guys want to, check us out.
Nobody.
You're still a nobody, but it's interesting. So come out early. We'll be at the Wayne Comic Show. It's on Route 23. It's at a hotel. You can Google it. We'll be shopping for some books. I'm going to show this guy some comic stores. I'm going to go tomorrow. We're going to go to some comic stores. Then we're going to cook out.
It's been fun. It's been fun even going to we went to only 2, but it was enjoyable to go to a comic store with someone else. Because typically I'm always by myself going
You're
to
a
shops.
loser.
Yeah. So, and I only go to my one
Yeah,
shop.
you only go to one shop.
I go to my one shop. I talked to the guy who works there, the guy who owns the shop, who doesn't read comics, but still.
Let me tell you, we could have stopped at like 5 shops today, and I was just like, let's go to these 2. But probably we could have hit up 5 shops before we got back to my house, and you would have been like, wow, there's just way too many in New Jersey. There's so many on the way up to this cookout that we're going to tomorrow too.
So the thing was, though, the shops was kind of a bummer because I'm like, they know what they're selling here. You're not going to really find anything. You're not going to find that secret cheap book here. Both the shops we went to, they knew what their books were. They knew how to grade them.
I don't know. That Mighty Avengers 1 for $10 is pretty good because it was.
Yeah, I guess so. What's that selling for now? $20-$30?
I don't know. It was on the top 10.
Yeah.
I think it was like $40.
It was number 1, wasn't
it?
Yeah.
It was up there.
Yeah.
It was up on our top 10 this week. So, hey, let me tell you, I'll take it for $10. I'll send it to CGC at some point.
Well, and I mean, what I paid $25 for that Astonishing X-Men 6. That's not.
That was a good buy.
Yeah.
That was definitely a good buy.
That's a good one. I'm trying to keep up on the chat because I can't see that.
I'm like super. Yeah, we're super blind up here. Yes, like, comment, and subscribe to these 2 knuckleheads like King of the Golden State. We, of course, if anyone's listening to our podcast right now, we do have a YouTube channel. I do drop some of these outside of the podcast every now and then, but we'll do some live shows here on YouTube. Animals. Tim says, make sure you get some Zeppels from Animal. Yeah, I'll throw them. I'll find a nice Italian place. We'll get some.
What's Zeppels?
Zeppels? They're like it's like a sugar coated like pastry.
Oh God.
Yeah. I don't know. They got a bakery around my corner. Well,
it's not really my thing. I'm more about the pizza. I'm definitely down for some New York pizza.
Oh, well, definitely. This guy, so Jonathan West wants to know, where is the liquor? There's tons of liquor in my cabinet. We got some Blue Moons. I got some Stella right here. We took some shots before. Me, Zach, and my wife. We took a shot before we went live. That's how you do.
Yep. Got to wet the whistle.
Yeah. So, shout out. Oh, I'm Kenny Swag. What's going on? The fried pie variants. No, yeah, I guess they're the fried pie, Second and Charles. The Bam Pow, that's pretty much what they are.
Bam Pow, yeah.
So thanks for joining them, Kenny Swag. Anybody else who I missed here on the live chat? Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We've been rocking it for an hour. If anybody has any other questions, please let us know. We'll definitely be answering pretty much anything.
Yep. Nothing's off limits.
Nothing off limits. I mean, I could do like a room tour, but I don't think you guys want to see that. That's boring stuff. There's like Something is Killing the Children books over there. There's some Star Wars books over here.
No, Tim, my wife did not make the trip. She might actually be in the chat, though. So careful what you say.
I know my wife was going to come down here and hang out with us, but she was just like showing me off her outfit, and then she's going to go out. Like, because she doesn't want to hang out with 2 nerds, because once we get done with this, we're pretty much just going to drink and watch some DC animated movie that just came out.
Like 2 grown men.
Yeah, because there's no comic shops open at 10 o'clock on the East Coast. That's what they should do. They should do like a late night comic shop.
That'd be cool. And you can have like beers in there, get drinks.
There's a place. There's
a
place in New York that it's called like Comic Sandwich. I don't know the name of it. I'm sorry, but it's a deli, and they actually have comic books.
So what, you're like reading your Darth Vader #3 as the mayonnaise drips and falls on the page.
Like
CGC
one
grades it at 9.8.
It's like half the shot, half of it is like a deli, like you order sandwiches, and then they actually have comic books that you can buy. They have like similar to like what we were going through, like either like boxes or whatever. I swear to God, it's in New York. I don't know the name. I gotta find the name of it.
Yeah, please.
But that's really cool. Like it's like a different concept.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to eat around my. So sometimes I'll get my books. Like I get my books on Tuesdays, and I come home like in my lunchtime, and I'll be eating lunch, and I'll have the books over here to the left, and I'll kind of be eating to the right, trying to read my books as I'm eating without spilling anything on them or messing them up at all.
Oh, that's bad.
So,
I saw a good question over here. Hold on. Bilbo Hauser wants to know: is there still room for first appearance of Malik or Revan, or is that time passed? Yeah, let me tell you, the last 9/8 they've been selling just under 2K in CGC 9/8. If you can find that bad boy in the wild raw somewhere, and someone's selling it for like $125, $200, I would buy it. I think it's going to grow. Definitely get out there and buy it if you can. I wouldn't buy it in the 9/8 because it's a tough book. I mean, there's better silver, to be honest, and this is me from a Star Wars fan. There's better books to buy in Silver Age for $2,000. That's just me. And I'm coming from that. So next up, Lords of the Long Box, of course, thrown out. What do you guys think about YouTubers and websites speculating on comics that have no real news or rumors behind it, causing prices to skyrocket?
Well, I mean, we're talking about Tales of the Flip Side here, right?
I think we're talking about Tales of the Flip Side.
Okay. Well, is it any different than? Well, it's not all we're talking about. We're talking about the channels that review. We're talking about Pressable Defects, Very Gary, that girl Jamette, who talk about specking like the WandaVision and try to push the books that they got, Mephisto and all that. So it's all kind of the same shit, right?
But it's even the same. I guess it's even the same thing with like us, Lords of the Long Box, or even me. There's no news sometimes, but like really throwing out books out there is really tough. When you're just throwing out names, like there was 2 books on our top 10 this week, and there was a book that was on the top 10 shakers that were because of Tales of the Flip Side. All they did was mention it. It's a little rough. Like just because you say a book,
right?
And that's just stupid. Like that Secret Wars book was on.
I didn't understand that book at all.
I bought that book. I remember buying that book only because I knew it was like a low print run, and I sold that shit so fast, like years ago. And now it's like all of a sudden because they mention it, they have a better following than, you know, whether it's Lords, whether it's the Pressable Defects crew, whether it's us. Like, why? Like,
so I think, well, okay. How do you be fair about this comic? Because I'm trying to be fair, you know. So obviously with Lords, drops a lot of spec, but the Lord spec comes from Mikey Sutton, right? Mm-hmm. So it comes with some backing to it. It comes from the inside track that Mikey Sutton has, and there is information to it. Okay, so is it always right? No. Is it majority of times right? Unfortunately, like I said, I tried to troll Tim for a while about that, and I would probably say it's about 80%. That might even be low. They've been right about the spec that they've received from Mikey Sutton. In some way or another, that spec has been correct. So to spec on that stuff like Lords does, it comes from a backing. Now to spec on, well, I think this guy might show up in this book because the color red was in WandaVision. That totally means Mephisto's showing up. Well, that's probably not a good spec. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, that's the community we live in. Everyone wants to be the first. Everyone wants to get that book early. And that's the game you play. I think, honestly, it's no one else's fault, really. It's not their fault for specking. None of these channels should be to blame for specking. It's your fault for being the dumbass who purchases the book based on it.
Yeah.
So I think that's my honest opinion is I don't blame these guys for pushing the spec, you know, whether it's for personal profit or to keep things moving, to keep it hot in the community so we can have chats like this and stuff like that. I don't blame them for doing that. But if you purchase the book and you get burned, that's your fault, man. I don't know. Buyer beware. So,
yeah. I did see a question for you, Zach, which I think is right up your alley. And this one is actually from Orogo. So this one is for Midnight Sun's first appearance. Would you guys go with Ghost Rider 28, team name appears in title, or 31, where the members appear together as a team?
Oh.
Ooh, this is a good Marvel question.
So this is, yeah. So it depends on what you're specking here. Like Midnight Suns, obviously, if you're looking to spec the team, there's a lot of options here. You can spec the individual guys in the team, and that's a lot. Obviously, I think Ghost Rider 28 is the one to go. That's the one that's sealed, right? That came in like the.
I want to say
yeah, where it says Midnight Suns on the
it's the poly bag.
Yeah. I think that's the one to do. It's tricky though with Midnight Suns because there's so many iterations of Midnight Suns. You don't know who's going to show up. So yeah, it's probably a safer bet to spec the team rather than to spec the individual characters. Because let's say you made a money and you got Ghost, you want to go for Johnny Blaze first appearance and you get screwed over and they went Danny Kest or Danny Ketch, or they went Robbie Rodriguez just to throw you, a wrench. There's a lot of options. So I would say probably spec the team, I guess.
All right.
But you know me, I got all them Ghost Riders.
Yeah, it's a good question. Good
I
question.
love that Ghost Rider.
Hey.
Hey, Tim's Corona first appearance. Didn't we see one of those?
Oh yeah, we actually saw it in my comic shop. I told him to keep it around for when Zach came here because we talked about the first appearance of that. Comic Connect. Thanks for joining, man. Good to see Manimal on the live show again. Talking shit about that girl Gem Mint. What the fuck happened between y'all? We are definitely going to tackle that topic, but not right now because that is going to be for our podcast portion. But we will definitely love to talk about that at some point. Stan Morgan, thanks so much for jumping in. Have to put some responsibility on the people that buy those specs. It's 100% true, man. I listen. I talk about my Star Wars spec. I've dropped 4 episodes here on our podcast, ComicCom podcast. All 4 books have been pretty cheap. All 4 books could possibly pop at any time.
Yeah.
There's no news, but what the hell? Like, you're not into it for a huge investment. Some of these books people talk about and they go up for really no reason, but I'm out there just telling you, hey, maybe buy this book now. It could go from a $4 book or $10 book to a $100 book.
Yeah, I mean, and the key is, it's not so much when you buy the book; it's when you sell the book. I mean, that's the key.
Yeah,
you gotta sell the book at the right time. Like I was telling earlier, for anyone who wasn't there, I jacked up and I sent that Thor. I think it was Thor number 4, the Black Winter book, because it was hot at the moment. I sent it to CGC, still don't got that backing. It'd be worth shit now. I just invested $25-$30 in a slab for a Thor book that's garbage.
yeah. The Corona book was about $20 to $25. I think he had on the price tag, but he probably would have given it to me like for 15. But yeah, I think he had it up for like $20 or $25. But it had to come off the wall eventually, so I told him to take it down. So. Bilbo Hauser has another one. I want to say thanks to Lords of Longbox and King of the Golden State. Oh, James, you're getting a shout out here on the show. I bought an ASM 361 9.6 newsstand at the Lords auction a year ago for $100. Best buy ever made. Support the great crew. Yeah, thank you guys so much. We always love doing the awesome auctions. So I don't know. Darkside Jedi is giving us some money.
No, he's saying the Corona book.
Oh, the Corona book. Yeah, 25. Yeah, $25 he was like asking for it. I don't know if it's worth the $25, but
it looked good. He had it in some Mylar.
Yeah, Mylar makes the world go round.
Mylar pushes seven book to a 9 something.
So, I think that's it for this evening. What about you? You wanna end this so we can go and just get drunk for the rest of the night?
I'm down with whatever.
All right. So. Guys, thank you so much for joining us live here on the ComicCom podcast. Again, Zach is here in New Jersey. We will definitely be hitting up 1 to 2 more shops tomorrow on Saturday. And then Sunday, if you're listening to this right now or if you're watching the rewind, make sure you check us out at the Wayne Comics Show on Route 23 in Wayne, New Jersey. Early, we'll be there probably exactly at 10 o'clock as it opens and probably leaving about noon because then this man's got to catch a flight back to Texas.
Yep.
So thanks everybody so much for joining us. It's been a lot of fun answering all these questions. And anybody who's listening to this on the podcast, remember you can always reach out to us on our Instagram at the ComicCom Podcast and send us voicemails or messages and emails to comiccompodcast@gmail.com. So thanks everybody. Peace out.
Later.